Good evening, Fernwood. It is your husky voiced friend Neil here, and it's time for us to spend a little quiet time with another episode of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. We are watching episode 162 from November 16th, 1976. In case you're wondering, I started a gig yesterday where I have to speak over music that's just a little too loud. So, let's talk about yesterday, which began with Tom and Mary seeing a collapsed Pat on their kitchen floor and wondering what to do about it. Garth shows up and starts to build with Patty a ridiculous story about how she got so banged up. Mary picks up on some of the awkwardness, and hey, that's where we are. Next door at the Shumways, Kathy puts on an act that says that she really wants to go live with the Adamses and she's happy to give the baby up to them. Grandpa, however, sees through that ruse. He also mentions that he's got a new job lined up. And then finally at the Haggers, Loretta asks a very awkward favor of Jody, which is to help make Charlie jealous. She did succeed in making Charlie jealous, but she maybe didn't realize that kissing Jody would have an effect on her. That's all of the recap I got for you, everyone. I'm just going to rest my voice, and we'll talk afterward.
Mary Hartman! Mary Hartman! Charlie. Darling, are you asleep?
Fine. I haven't been sleeping.
Me neither. My eyes didn't shut once all night long. I don't like being in that bed without you, Charlie. Probably still angry and jealous, right, on account of finding me and Jody kissing and hugging to beat the band on the couch here. Probably pretty jealous and angry, aren't you?
Honey, what do you expect? Of course I'm jealous.
But you're mad first, right?
What do you think I am? Some kind of a worm that doesn't have any pride or manhood? I grant you, I don't have that much manhood left, but I do have a mite of pride, honey.
Probably so angry and jealous that you is just fit to be tied and just about ready to like explode, right? Like you just want to, just so mad, you just want to grab this tender, firm, but delicate body of mine and dash it upstairs in that bedroom and just make mad, passionate love at me, right? Like we hadn't done in weeks before, right?
I don't believe you, Loretta. I don't believe you. I don't believe you could be so cold-hearted to sit there with your bare face hanging out, and that ain't all, and make fun of the miserable fact that I can't do what we always could do.
Not even now.
What's any different about now?
But you're supposed to be able to now.
What in the world are you talking about?
On account of the jealousies, Charlie.
Loretta, what in the foggy blue morning are you getting at?
See, the jealousies are supposed to womp the trauma around so much in your head that you're supposed to believe what Dr. Furman told you. And what Dr. Furman told you is that you can do it if you believe you can do it. And you're supposed to believe you can do it on account of the fact that you want to do it so bad, on account of the jealousies.
Oh, honey, I didn't believe that when Dr. Furman said it. I don't believe it now because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any more sense than whatever you're saying about the jealousies, which I haven't got a clue in the basket of what you're saying.
Charlie.
Honey, why don't you just leave me alone, huh? I mean, don't kick a man when he's down. Well, sweetheart, I am downer than a stepped-on caterpillar.
Honey, please don't be angry at me, would you not?
I'll tell you the truth, Loretta, when I came through that door, I see you heating up that couch fit to set it on fire with Jody. I was ready to commit mayhem on the whole two of you. Lord, I thought you were my faithful and loving and loyal wife, which you promised to be when we got married up, and I thought Jody was my friend, too.
Charlie, are you sure you don't want to go up and discuss this jealousy and anger in the bed?
Honey, please, just let me finish what I started out to say, huh? Which I've been thinking about all night lying on that couch there.
Okay.
And what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to get at is, I ain't mad at you. I mean, I thought it over, honey, and I don't have any cause to be mad at you anymore and to think about committing mayhem on you, because you're Well, you're a fine young woman, which you got natural, healthy desires, which any wife is entitled to have, and just because I can't do anything to undesire you doesn't mean I got any call to be mad at you, honey. It's not your fault. It's my fault.
But Charlie, it doesn't have to be that way. Your disability ain't permanent. You know that.
Well, we might as well face it, honey. It's going to be permanent until I get to that doctor in New Jersey, and he lays that transplant operation on me.
Well, I guess if you got it in your head, you got it in your head, and that's just the way it's going to be. I guess the only thing I can do is just do an awful lot of praying that operation's going to work.
The only thing I can do is just try and hurry up and save that money as fast as I can for the down payment on the operation before your passion and your female desire just lead you to some undisabled man, and you just throw me away.
Charlie Haggers, don't you ever let me hear you say anything like that again. Do you hear me now? I love you. You are my man, and you're my husband, and you're my sweet big old baby boy, and I don't have any other leanings toward any other male person.
You were leaning kind of hard on Jody the other night.
Oh,
That, which I never expected to see any lawful wedded wife of mine doing.
Charlie, that wasn't nothing what it looked like.
Oh, sweetheart, that's like saying a three-legged dog ain't nothing what a three-legged dog looks like.
Honey, that was just a scheme of Mary's and mine.
Mary? What are you talking about?
I may as well tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, since out didn't work anyway.
What didn't work?
Oh, it was this thing that Mary saw in Days of Our Lives, or As the World Turns, or one of them subs. I don't even know, but there's a husband. He had a problem just exactly like yours. So what his wife did, she arranged it so that he would walk in when she was kissing and smooching on his very best friend. And he got so overcome with jealousies and passion and everything that he took her upstairs and made mad, passionate love to her before he even knew what hit him. I bet that's Mary right now, and I'm going to tell her that silly soap opera idea wasn't worth 2 cents.
Howdy, everybody.
Hi, Jody.
Miss Haggers, I sure hope you explained.
It's okay, Jody.
Yeah, I did.
I ain't mad at you.
You ain't?
No. I mean, it probably surprises you because I was ready to paint the walls with you the other day, but I thought about it in a different light now.
Then Loretta told you what we was up to.
She told me what she had in mind, yeah.
Well, I just
Now,
want you to
just
know.
don't talk about it, Jody. Just don't talk about it, because when I think about how I come in here and see you kissing and smooching and groping my own wife on my own layaway couch, it makes me kind of mad, you know. I feel like grabbing a handful of your hair and taking
All
you
right,
out on
Charlie,
the street.
okay, I won't talk about it no more.
Good. Because you can see it makes me kind of riled up there.
Yeah, I could see.
So let's talk about something else.
Like the Ohio 500?
That was last night. I forgot all about it. I had some things on my mind there, Jody. How'd you do?
Well, I guess since you and me as partners, you mean how did we do?
Yeah, right. How did we do? I'm sorry. Did you place?
Well, I guess the best way to answer that is to let you count this.
What's this?
It's your share. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100.
That's 10% of 1,000. Means you came in third. Well, that ain't bad.
20, 40, 60, 80, 200.
Well, second, that's a little better.
20, 40, 60, 80, 300.
First? You came in first? We came in first? You made $3,000?
Right. All of which I'm going to put back in my car, of course.
You know what that means, honey? That means I got the down payment for Dr. Fracas's operation. That's what we need around here. New Jersey, here I come.
See, the zoning commission can keep those massage parlors out of our residential neighborhoods, and the same thing applies to those adult bookstores.
Sure.
I'm sure the Lord never meant for young children of respectable American families to be exposed to pictures of naked women, for God's sake.
Oh, Merle, you're a natural. You know, you could get a lot of votes with that kind of talk. And the wonderful thing is you sound like you mean it.
Well, I do mean it, Wanda. I know how the vision of a naked woman can lure even a grown man into immorality.
Yeah.
You know, take myself, for instance. I've sinned myself. Well, you know all about that.
Sure.
Now, of course, I know it's my duty to carry on the work of my dear departed son, Reverend Jimmy Joe. That's why I'm building the condos for Christ for the unswinging singles. That's why I'm going to accept that post that your late husband left on the zoning commission.
Oh, Merle, I'm so happy. Especially to know that there won't be a conflict of interest.
Mm-hmm.
I drove by the condos for Christ today, and they're going up so fast. Well, they're going to be finished before the city council even has time to approve your appointment.
Wanda, I tell you, I got to take my hat off to that Acme Construction Company. Those people, now those are what I call pros. You know what I mean? They know what they're doing. They come in there. Well, I don't know what I'm telling you for. After all, it was your late lamented husband that put me onto those people.
Oh, Merle, a couple of things. Number one, my late husband isn't all that lamented.
Well.
And number two, if I know anything about him, and I know enough about him to put him behind bars, even if he is dead, the only reason Acme got that contract was so he could get a kickback.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you don't think we were living the way we were living on his salary as a zoning commissioner?
Well, no, of course not, Wanda, but the man did drop dead, and I say God have mercy on his soul.
Well, I don't know how the Lord handles these things, but I'd rather get on something a little more pleasant than my late husband. Like your plans beyond the zoning commission.
Well, see, I'm not even on it yet, so...
Oh, that's a mere technicality. Look, Merle, once in a blue moon, a man with your kind of political savvy comes along, and the moon must have been awfully blue the night you were born. Merle, I'll tell you something. If you play your cards right, you could be in Washington, D.C. in 2 years.
Well, let me tell you something. All I have to do is get on a jet plane, and I can be there in 2 hours if I want to be. But I don't want to be. Don't you understand? I'm no politician for pot's sake. I'm a public servant.
No, Merle. I'm a politician's wife, and I promise you 2 years.
Wanda, seriously, I do feel like I should tell you something at this stage. I don't know whether you know it or not, but there's an awful lot of immorality in Washington now.
Well, you'll get used to that. After all your sinning days aren't over, are they?
Well, I should certainly hope that they are.
Oh, in moderation. Now, just enough so that the Washington Post doesn't make any trouble for you. Well, I mean, a senator shouldn't deprive himself of pleasure altogether.
Well,
Elizabeth Ray is one thing, but then not all women are Elizabeth Ray.
No, I'll give you that.
Merle, what I'm getting at is that I understand your feelings. See, you're a man in the prime of life, and, well, if you're going to take on the burdens of a political career, you're going to be under tremendous stress, and you're going to need a little relaxation.
No, but Wanda, see, if you're talking about something like golf and all that, I know a lot of senators play golf, a lot of presidents play golf, but I really don't know whether that's my game or not.
Well, that's not quite what I had in mind. Well, look, even President Kennedy had to have some outlet for the
there he is.
tremendous
Okay, set up on the other side of the table. Let's roll.
I never lost respect.
All right, here we go.
Oh,
Ready?
Let's see.
All right. Hi, I'm Cleet Meisenheimer with the Channel 6 News team, moving fast on yet another exclusive. Excuse me, Merle, but your telephone service told us where we might find you, and we want our viewers to be first to get your on-the-spot reaction to this terrible disaster.
What disaster's that? What do you mean?
You mean you haven't heard?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Merle Jeter has not yet heard that his condos for Christ, under construction by the Acme Construction Company, have just 35 minutes ago collapsed into a tangled heap, a heaped tangle of near-fatal rubble.
Oh, Merle.
A heap, you say?
Yes, obviously substandard and illegal building materials were being used by the Acme Construction Company, which this reporter has learned were being subsidized and planned for by the late Commissioner of Zoning, Mr. Stanley Rittenhouse. Mr. Jeter, let me pigeonhole here you for a second and ask you this. Can you confirm the story about Commissioner Rittenhouse?
No, wait, look, I don't have anything to say at this time.
I noticed that the late commissioner's wife, the lovely Wanda Rittenhouse, is here with us today on our exclusive interview. Wanda, if I may, I was wondering, can we get your reaction to the revelations that your husband may have been involved in this scandal?
Well, I'm not at all surprised.
No, Wanda, bad taste, babe.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mr. Jeter, I realize that this must be a terrible shock for you, and I'm wondering if you could give us your feelings right now.
Well, I would just say that I'm sure that the Lord is punishing me for the sins that I've committed. But I'm equally sure that my resolve has been strengthened and that I will go forward from this point with renewed vigor to do the work of the Lord.
Well, that's beautifully said, Merle. Beautifully said. Then if I may quote you then, despite this calamity, the condos for Christ will be built?
They will.
In other words, the condos for Christ will be built.
Condos for Christ will be built, and I'll guarantee you something else. I'm going to get straight to the bottom of this disaster.
Well, thank you, Merle, and as always, you're a very sincere man.
Not at all.
Well, this is Clete Meisenheimer on the scene of a late-breaking story, and be sure and catch all the up-to-date news on our 11 o'clock version of the news. Until then, ciao. Great, folks. That was a terrific interview. We'll see you later.
You,
all right, let's wrap this
Thanks
up.
for dropping by, Clete.
Okay.
Oh, Merle, you were beautiful. Well, did I say you were going to be in the Senate? What's wrong with the White House?
Oh, it certainly was Johnny at the rat hole there for a minute, wasn't it?
Sure
I'll
was.
tell you one thing, though. I'm going to ride this baby right to the end.
Hi, welcome home.
Heather.
How are you? How are you? Hospital.
Oh, well, it was different. In fact, I kind of liked it.
Oh, really? You okay?
Oh, sure, I'm fine.
Sit down, sit down.
I will. It wasn't really anything very serious. It's just a little bump on the head, that's all.
You're not going to try any more skydiving, are you?
Of course I am. It's a neat sport. In fact, the next thing I'm going to try is hang gliding.
Hang gliding? Wow. Can I go with you?
Sure, if your mom will let you.
That means I can't go. My mother never lets me do anything that's fun.
Oh, now, Heather, that's not a very nice thing to say.
Well, it's true. Last weekend, I had a chance to go to the drag races with Trudy Weatherspoon's brother. Did I go? No. I had a chance to go on an overnight camping trip with a bunch of real swinging kids. Did I go? Mm-mm. She won't even let me wear my platform shoes anymore.
Well, I think she must have had a very definite reason for not letting you do those things.
Yeah, her reasons. It's a drag.
Hey, now, come on, Heather. That's enough of that. Now, come on.
Okay.
Well, I think it's very nice of you to have made a homecoming dinner for me. And I think it was very, very thoughtful.
Well, I missed you, and I think my father missed you.
Oh, I think it's a very nice idea. You know, I'm beginning to feel like this is my family, and I like it.
I think family's your drag.
Oh, boy, thanks a lot.
Oh, you know what I mean. I think families just aren't neat. Anyways, I didn't think you were for that family bit, you know, where you're always traveling around on the road and things like that.
Oh, Heather, don't ever knock a family. They're the one thing you can depend on. You don't know how often I miss mine. Just look how wonderful it is to come home from a hospital and have a celebration with your adopted family.
Well, you know, I hope you like the meal I made.
If you made it, I'm going to love it.
Well, I mean, I'm not the world's greatest cook.
Or the neatest. Look at that. Did I tell you? Oh, look.
Hi, Mary.
Hi. You're back. Hi. Oh, hi. Oh, you look wonderful.
Thank you.
Really? Was it fun? You look wonderful. How do you feel?
Well, I feel fine.
Oh, really?
No, never felt
Oh, is it wonderful to be back? It must be just so wonderful to be back home here. It must be so great. I mean, gee, this is great. You know what? It really calls for a celebration, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
that's why.
Yeah, Heather, please. I mean a real celebration. Now, I've got everything planned, okay? I've got M&Ms, I've got chocolate-covered bananas, I've got balloons.
Hey, Mom.
Everybody home.
Oh, wait, Mary,
on,
wait a
Tom,
minute,
come
wait a
on,
minute,
Heather,
wait a
come
minute,
on.
wait a minute. Hold it. What the hell kind of a way is this to celebrate, huh?
No, Tom.
You're leaving Annie here all alone. That's not fair.
No, well, she needs her rest time because she just got out of the hospital. See, the celebration is for, you know, when she feels like, you know, she looks like she should have one. That's what the
But
celebration
I never felt better in my life.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you see, then she doesn't need it. You never felt better?
Never.
See, that's a bad sign.
What do you mean?
Well, that could be a sign of remission. I mean, nobody ever feels better than they ever felt in their life when they've just gotten out of a hospital unless they're dying. You just think you've never felt better. You're feeling lightheaded, that's all. See, that's a bad sign. It's a bad sign for, come on, Heather, sweetheart. We really ought to go now. She needs her rest. This is no time for celebration. I sense very deep trouble here. And there's dinner at home, okay?
Mom, I got dinner here.
Oh, well, good. Good. That's very good. Listen, Annie, eat everything she's made for you.
But Mom, I've got dinner for 3 people.
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh, well, see, now that I feel might be a little too much for you, eating for 3. Well, do the best you can, Annie, okay? Come on, Heather. Come on, sweetheart. Let's go. Come on, Tom. Let's go. Goodbye, Tippy Toes. Oh, I can't tell you. It's just so great. They still do call you that, don't they?
Welcome home, Annie. Welcome home. Hi. Come on in, Paul.
Hi.
We just came over to see you and welcome you here.
Oh, well, it was so sweet of you to stop by.
Well, it wasn't a long drop anyway.
Oh, well, no, considering that I live in your driveway.
That's right. Well, we brought you a little welcome home present. These plants, and they're very good company, you know. Especially for someone like you that lives alone.
I like it.
Yes, she does, by the way. She really does. She actually likes to live alone. Come on, Tom, let's go.
You know, you can talk to plants.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes, I talk to them all the time, don't I, Pa?
I don't know why they never answer.
Oh, yes, they do. You know, they have a language all their own. You've seen their little leaves, you know, dancing in the breeze. Well, that's when they feel happy. And then, of course, when they start drooping like that, you know, they feel poorly.
Well, goodbye, everybody. I'm so sorry that we have to be leaving. Come on, Tom, let's go.
And now, I didn't get too acquainted with these plants, but this one seems to be a little shy to me, so now you be nice to her.
I will.
But you look at this son of a gun. Doesn't he look jolly? I think he would appreciate a good joke, if you know one.
Oh, well, would he laugh?
Oh, yes, if you tell him something funny.
Listen, everybody, I have a wonderful idea. Now, the 3 of us have to go home now to have dinner, but little Heather has made a dinner for 3 right over there, which I personally feel, she made it for Tippy Toes, and I personally feel it'll be too much of a strain on Tippy Toes' organs for her to eat it all by herself. So, Ma, why don't you and Grandpa stay and have dinner with Tippy Toes, okay? Okay, so come on, sweetheart, let's go. Come on, Tom. Okay, excuse me. Goodbye, Tippy Toes. And again, it is just... it's so great to know you're still with us. It really is. Goodbye, Tom. Come on, Tom. Goodbye, everyone.
Today I've got a lot of feelings. Starting with Charlie sleeping on the couch. And to me, you know, this is the couple that until the accident had, you know, the best and most affectionate marriage in this show. And it was really hard for me to imagine Charlie and Loretta not sleeping together. Loretta does her best to explain her plan. Charlie, of course, you know, is still dealing with his anger, so there's that. But there was a bit in there where Charlie was ready to say that Loretta could, or that he understood why she would be hooking up with someone who was young and healthy. There was a part of me that thought that he was ready to give Loretta up to Jody. I don't know that he would have gone quite so far, but you know, there was a little bit of me that was like, is this going to be a triad? And you know, it might be, but it's fairly progressive for the 1970s. Well, I mean, we did just come out of the swinger era, or I guess we were in the midst of the swinger era at that point, but sorry, I've got feelings now. But there was that, and then Jody comes in, and he's not 1/3, he's not 1/2. He won last night's race. I forgot the name of it. I'm not going to look it up, and that means that Charlie has enough to get the procedure done. And I hope that works. I feel like it's a bit drastic, but hopefully it is worth the money. We get a little bit of movement from Merle and Wanda, and she sees him being a senator in 2 years, and Merle doesn't want any of it, and Merle is in complete good guy mode at this point. He is very, other than the fact that he's a conservative, he's a conservative Christian politician. Well, using his moral center to move forward on his path, and he's taking the "I'm a sinner, I'm going to work to be better" approach to moving in life. And Wanda sees the political end of this, and then we get good old Clete Meisenheimer, who tells us that Condos for Christ has collapsed because of the company that he used, and Merle is being tasteful about commenting about it, and Wanda could care less, but propriety. Then we get another really awkward scene, which for me is awkward because I know how Mary feels about Annie, and I know how Tom feels about Annie, and it's clear that Heather really likes Annie, and again, they're still just friends. Yes, it seemed like, and it's painted like, Annie's having a family experience. Like, Heather cooked for her. If you have friends, you can be kind to them. Annie getting home from the hospital on an unseen skydiving accident. Well, good for Annie. And then Mary shows up and is really cruel. I understand where she's coming from, because she is very clearly jealous of Annie's relationship to her family. And Annie's not trying anything, but also Mary is understandably jealous of what's going on. And the way that it seemed that Mary just wanted to isolate Annie from her family. Like, let's just go home. We're not going to have the celebrations for when she feels better, but Annie doesn't feel bad at all. And well, then we won't have a celebration. Then the Shumways show up, and, well, Grandpa and Martha anyway, but she finds a switch, but you can see Mary seething in the background, and that's pretty gross. I didn't mention that last week I noticed that Philip Bruns's name is no longer in the credits, so we haven't seen George for many weeks at this point, and I don't know if we're gonna see him again. So Mary's jealousy is sincere, and it's leading her to cruel actions. The other side of this is how Tom is reacting to seeing this behavior, because it's coming as an action without consideration for anyone's feelings. Like, yes, Mary's jealousy is valid, but how does everyone else feel about this? If Tom understood her jealousy, he might act differently. But Mary pretends that she's not jealous. She likes to hide her feelings. And we can see from Heather's point of view that, generally speaking, and this has been the case through the whole series, Mary doesn't let her do anything that she wants to do. So, from Heather's point of view, this looks like my mom's making me go somewhere I don't want to be. So, I can see Mary's behavior, the feelings I'm okay with, the behavior I'm not okay with. So, that's where I am. Maybe, you know, maybe let's talk about this one, because I want to hear how you would help change the situation, which I know isn't going to change. It's going to, well, it is going to change. It's not going to get better necessarily, but it's going to change because things change. So that's what I've got to say about this episode, everyone. Please share your thoughts below, because you know how it works. Everyone, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sitting quietly with me, and we will see you tomorrow night in Fernwood.